Every week, we rank the top performers across WWE RAW, SmackDown, and AEW Dynamite, not just by wins and losses, but by who truly owned professional wrestling that week. Using our power rankings formula, every superstar is graded on match result, TV time, storyline impact, presentation, opponent quality, championship importance, match quality, momentum, plus a bonus for star power. The goal isn't just to reward victories. It's to determine who had the biggest week in professional wrestling. So let's kick off this week's rankings. Coming in at number 25 is Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita may have lost the AEW International Championship to Kyle Fletcher, but this wasn't a performance that deserved to fall completely out of the rankings. He delivered another outstanding match on one of Dynamite's biggest stages and reminded everyone why he's considered one of the best pure wrestlers in the world. The championship loss hurts his overall score, but the quality of the match and the caliber of his opponent were enough to keep him inside this week's top 25. At number 24, it's Carmelo Hayes. Hayes continued building momentum on Friday Night SmackDown with another featured performance. While he didn't have the biggest storyline of the week, he remained a consistent television presence and once again showcased the charisma and athleticism that have made him one of WWE's fastest rising stars. It wasn't a breakout week, but it was another solid step forward. Checking in at number 23 is the United States champion, Trick Williams. Even without a decisive victory, Trick remained one of SmackDown's featured champions. His television time and continued involvement in a championship program helped him earn valuable points in our formula. Sometimes maintaining your position is just as important as climbing, and Trick did exactly that this week. Number 22 belongs to Seth Rollins. Rollins didn't need a match to make an impact. One of WWE's biggest stars commanded attention the moment he appeared on Raw, delivering another memorable segment that continued shaping the main event landscape. Our rankings reward meaningful television presence just as much as in-ring success, and few performers maximize every minute on screen like Seth Rollins. Rounding out this week's first group at number 21 is Oba Femi. While he didn't compete inside the ring, Oba delivered one of Raw's strongest promotional segments. His confidence, presence, and ability to sell his upcoming championship program made him one of the night's biggest talking points. Presentation and storyline impact are major parts of our rankings, and few superstars looked more like a future main event player than Oba Femi this week. Those are numbers 25 through 21, but now the rankings really begin to heat up. Coming up next, championship victories, number one contenders, and some of the biggest names in wrestling start making their appearance as we reveal numbers 20 through 16. We've reached the top 20, and this is where championship implications, major victories, and momentum swings begin separating the contenders from the rest of the field. Starting off the top 20 is Jon Moxley. It wasn't a headline-grabbing week for the former AEW World Champion, but Moxley continued doing what he always does, delivering another gritty performance while remaining a central figure in AEW programming. A tag team victory and his continued involvement in one of the company's biggest storylines earned him valuable points across our formula. Consistency matters, and Moxley remains one of wrestling's most dependable main event players. At number 19, it's Jimmy Uso. Jimmy picked up an important victory on SmackDown while continuing to play a major role in the ever-evolving Bloodline saga. Even when he's not the focal point, every appearance carries significant storyline weight because of what's at stake within WWE's biggest faction. That combination of an in-ring win and meaningful television time moves Jimmy into this week's top 20. Coming in at number 18 is Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa scored one of the biggest victories of the week by defeating Chris Jericho in a hard-fought match on Dynamite. Beyond the result itself, the match quality was among the strongest on the entire show, giving Ciampa a substantial boost in multiple scoring categories. If he continues stacking performances like this, don't be surprised to see him climb even higher in future rankings. At number 17, we have Willow Nightingale. Willow earned one of the most important victories in AEW this week by winning the Casino Gauntlet match and securing herself a future Women's World Championship opportunity. Wins that immediately reshape the championship picture carry extra value in our rankings, and that's exactly what happened here. Between the significance of the victory and the momentum she gained, Willow makes a strong jump into the upper half of this week's rankings. Just outside the top 15 is Austin Theory. Theory captured the World Tag Team Championship on Raw, giving him one of the week's biggest championship victories. While tag titles don't carry quite the same weight as a world championship, title wins always receive a significant boost in our formula. Add in his continued television presence and growing momentum, and Theory narrowly misses breaking into this week's top 15. The rankings are about to take another major step up. Coming up next are the performers who didn't just have great weeks, they became central figures in their promotions. Championship victories, defining moments, and breakout performances await as we reveal numbers 15 through 11. We've reached the top 15, and from this point forward, every superstar made a significant impact on their promotion this week. Championships were won, careers gained momentum, and some of wrestling's biggest names began reminding everyone why they belong at the top. Kicking off our top 15 is Braun Breaker. Breaker captured the World Tag Team Championship on Monday Night Raw, adding another championship to an already impressive resume. Championship victories always carry significant weight in our rankings, and Braun's dominant presentation continues to make him one of WWE's fastest rising stars. His combination of explosive athleticism, physical dominance, and championship success earns him the number 15 spot this week. Coming in at number 14 is Ethan Page. Page teamed with Rusev to score an impressive victory on Raw while continuing to build momentum as one of WWE's most entertaining personalities. Although the championship spotlight belonged elsewhere, Ethan maximized every second of television time, combining strong character work with another important win. It's that balance of presentation and performance that pushes him just outside this week's top 10. At number 13, it's Rusev. The Redeemer looked every bit as dangerous as ever this week. A dominant victory wasn't enough for Rusev, who also left a trail of destruction after the match, reinforcing his reputation as one of Raw's most intimidating forces. Our rankings reward both decisive wins and storyline impact, and Rusev delivered plenty of both. If he keeps this pace up, it may only be a matter of time before championship opportunities follow. Checking in at number 12 is Sol Ruca. The Women's North American Champion successfully defended her title in another standout performance, proving once again why she's one of WWE's brightest young stars. Championship defenses carry additional weight in our formula because they reinforce a champion's credibility against quality competition. With another successful title defense and continued momentum, Sol Ruca moves one step closer to cracking this week's top 10. Just missing the top 10 is Sami Zayn. Despite falling short in one of the week's biggest championship matches, Sami remained at the center of Raw's main event scene. Competing for the undisputed WWE Championship against CM Punk automatically carries tremendous importance, and Sami once again delivered in one of the night's most emotional and compelling matches. Losses matter in our formula, but context matters too. Competing at the highest level against elite competition is enough to keep Sami just outside this week's top 10. Now we enter the elite tier. The remaining 10 superstars didn't just have great weeks, they helped define professional wrestling over the last 7 days. Championship victories, unforgettable moments, and career-defining performances await as we reveal this week's top 10. We've finally reached the top 10. These are the performers who defined professional wrestling this past week. Every one of them either won championships, reshaped major storylines, or delivered performances that left fans talking long after the shows went off the air. Let's get into it. Starting off our top 10 is Finn Balor. Balor picked up one of SmackDown's biggest victories of the week over Tama Tonga, but this ranking is about more than just one win. Finn continues to feel like one of WWE's most dangerous veterans, consistently delivering in high-pressure situations while remaining involved in meaningful television stories. Strong in-ring work, quality opposition, and another important victory earned Finn the number 10 spot this week. At number 9, it's Jade Cargill. Jade didn't just win, she sent a message. Her victory, followed by a brutal post-match attack, continued establishing her as one of WWE's most dominant women. Presentation has always been one of Jade's biggest strengths, and when you combine that aura with meaningful storyline progression, it creates one of the highest overall scores of the week. Every appearance feels important, and that's exactly what our rankings are designed to reward. Coming in at number 8 is Will Ospreay. Ospreay once again reminded everyone why many consider him the best wrestler in the world today. Another outstanding performance, another victory, and another week spent near the center of AEW's biggest stories. Elite match quality has become the expectation whenever Ospreay steps into the ring, but what really elevated him this week was his continued involvement in the World Championship picture. When you're delivering classics while chasing the biggest prize in the company, you're going to score extremely well. At number 7, Jacob Fatu proves exactly why our rankings aren't based solely on wins and losses. Fatu didn't wrestle this week, but he absolutely dominated SmackDown. Every appearance carried weight. Every stare, every confrontation, every interaction continued shaping WWE's hottest storyline. Few superstars have a stronger on-screen presence right now, and that's reflected in his presentation score and storyline impact. Sometimes controlling the show without throwing a single punch is more impressive than winning a match, and Jacob Fatu did exactly that. Just outside the top 5 is Kyle Fletcher. Fletcher captured the AEW International Championship in one of the week's best matches, defeating Konosuke Takeshita in a performance that felt like a true breakout moment. Winning a championship is always significant, but defeating an opponent of Takeshita's caliber pushed Fletcher's opponent quality and match quality scores even higher. This wasn't just a title win, it felt like the arrival of AEW's next major singles star. 5 superstars remain. Every one of them either won a world championship or completely reshaped the biggest stories in professional wrestling this week. At number 5 is MJF. Yes, he lost the AEW World Championship, but context matters. MJF delivered one of the biggest main events of the year against Kenny Omega, carrying enormous television importance and producing a match worthy of the championship. Losses affect the rankings, but competing at the highest possible level against elite competition still earns major points. MJF may have lost the title, but he absolutely did not lose his place among wrestling's elite. Number 4 belongs to Cody Rhodes. Interestingly, Cody didn't need a match to finish this high. Everything this week revolved around him. Gunther's attack, the fallout from Raw, his confrontation with CM Punk on SmackDown. Cody remained one of WWE's central figures from beginning to end. Storyline impact is one of the most valuable categories in our rankings, and no one carried more narrative importance this week than Cody Rhodes. At number 3 is Gunther. The ring general may not have won a championship this week, but he completely altered WWE's main event picture. His assault on Cody Rhodes instantly established himself as perhaps the biggest threat on WWE television. Every appearance reinforced his dominance, his credibility, and his importance heading toward SummerSlam. Few superstars generated more momentum this week than Gunther, earning him the bronze medal in our rankings. Our runner-up this week is Kenny Omega. The Best Bout Machine reclaimed the AEW World Championship in one of the year's defining matches, defeating longtime rival MJF in a championship classic. Winning the biggest prize in AEW automatically produces one of the highest match result and championship importance scores possible. Add in another incredible in-ring performance, and Omega finishes with one of the strongest overall weeks of anyone in professional wrestling. On almost any other week, this performance would have been enough for number 1. But this week's number 1 belongs to CM Punk. Punk defeated Sami Zayn to become the undisputed WWE champion in Raw's unforgettable main event before returning on SmackDown as the centerpiece of WWE programming. Winning WWE's biggest championship is already enough to challenge for the top spot, but Punk didn't stop there. He closed one chapter, immediately opened another with Cody Rhodes, and positioned himself at the center of WWE's entire landscape. Between championship importance, storyline impact, television presence, and pure star power, no one in professional wrestling had a bigger week than CM Punk. That's why CM Punk is your #1 wrestler of the week. Do you agree with this week's rankings? Who did we rank too high? Who deserves to be higher? And who completely missed the list? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe for weekly power rankings across WWE and AEW, and hit that notification bell so you never miss next week's list. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.